to Ricardo for your introduction. Over to you, Ricardo.
Oh, wow. Hey, good afternoon, good evening. Claudine, thank you so much for inviting me. I mean, first of all, a big shout out to you. If I could ask everyone to give Claudine a round of applause, like you find that applause button on your Zoom, that emoji, that emoji, that give her a round of applause, because Claudine is, as Lamar says, she's a strong and powerful, super wonderful woman, and professional. And I was just so grateful to have met you. So thank you for putting this together. And just know that you're loved. Look at the screen. You see all these hands going up. We love you. When we met last year, who would have thought that we would be several months after doing this, and the relationships that we've been building, the connections that we've had between each other. It's just amazing. It's a testament that if you follow the same pathway, then you certainly will end up there. My name is Ricardo Berries. I am the founder and CEO of MI Group. We are a group of companies. We're in tech, we're in marketing, we're in digital infrastructure. We are in software as a service, and we also are in commerce and fulfillment. And so it's quite a bit of things that we actually do within the group, and we do that right between the United States, between South America and the Caribbean. So as a founder, and a CEO, we started this company over 15 years ago, and we've been really working assiduously. I've never worked in corporate before. So for those of you who are just trying to figure out what is it like to step out of corporate, I'll say, well, I've never been there, so I can't really tell you that much, but the journey of entrepreneurship is so good that like I jump literally every day. So that's who I am in terms of the business that we're in. You can always find more information about our companies and about how we add value every day to different kinds of clients, everyone from fast food folks to hotels to attorneys to just small businesses who are selling a physical product, would like to use our fulfillment facility here in Atlanta, or would really like to take advantage of the e-commerce opportunities that exist here in the United States from the outside world, if you may, from outside of the US. I'm also the chairman for the Global Opportunities Division for the Atlanta Black Chamber. And as you saw earlier today, you already got the scoop on the Atlanta Black Chamber and how the chamber is working for Black businesses in our community. But my job is to work with the global Black business community, and that includes all the folks who are in UK, all the folks who are on the continent, all the folks who are just literally all over the world, that if you are from the African continent, and African, whether you're an African American, you're from the African diaspora, you are considered a big part of the global Black business community. And my job is to bring us together, hefty task, but it's to bring us together to see how best we can do the things that is most important. Build a relationship. The currency is green, but green comes from that relationship, right? And so we want to make sure that you understand that. I'm happy to answer any questions, Claudine, as we go through this, but I know you gave me 2 minutes and I think I might be a second over, so I'm just going to stop here. But great to be here. Great to meet everyone. Looking forward to the discussion.
Awesome. All right, that's really great, Ricardo. Thank you very much. You're doing good for time. So before we get into the actual questions, I just want to give a brief, let's call it an overview, if you like, so that the listeners, everyone who's on the line today, you probably already have an awareness or an understanding of the US, but I just want to give you a little bit more context. So according to the economy of Atlanta, Atlanta's GDP, gross domestic product, is 473 billion. That's billion with a B in 2021. Atlanta is the 11th largest economy in the cities of the United States and the 22nd largest in the world. Let me say that again. 11th largest economy in the US and the 22nd largest in the world. The economy is considered diverse with dominant sectors in industries such as transportation, aerospace, logistics, healthcare, news and media, film, television production, information technology, finance, biomedical research, and public policy. Atlanta established itself on the world stage. Many of you may have seen this when it won and hosted the 1996 Summer Olympics. And the games impacted the development and growth of Atlanta into the 21st century. It's important that I want you to kind of get this concept, because really what I'm trying to do is help you to understand the size and the scope of opportunities that you have when you connect outside of the UK. Atlanta is host to some of the global headquarters of several corporations, such as Coca-Cola Company. You know Coca-Cola, give me a thumbs up. If you know Coca-Cola, use those reaction buttons. Home Depot, Delta Airlines, AT&T Mobile, Chick-fil-A. We could do with a burger right now. Dunkin' Donuts, keep on walking by, don't stop by the donuts. Mercedes-Benz, Papa John, Porsche, UPS. Those are some of the companies that you very well are familiar with, and they are based in the Atlanta region. And again, I'm just trying to reinforce and help you understand the size and the magnitude of the opportunity. Many corporations are drawn to the city by its educated workforce. In 2014, 45% of adults aged 25 and over residing in the city have at least a college degree, compared with the nation's average of 28%. And just for those of you who are working out time zones and so on and so forth, Atlanta is 5 hours behind the UK time zone, 5 hours behind. Going to give you a quick geography lesson, because I had to do this too. My geography is bad. So I want you to have a look at this map just here. You should be able to see that. Current slide. All right. So Atlanta, Georgia is right here. You should be able to see my mouse going round and round and round. So just for those of you who think, oh, I've got family in Idaho, I've got family in Florida, I've got family in Kentucky, I've got family in Texas, I want to go visit Bishop T.D. Jakes in Texas. Here's just a quick geography lesson. This is where Atlanta is. So you can navigate your way around the nation and find your way right here, and then stop off and go and see your uncle and your auntie and whoever else it is that you want to see. All right, so we're going to get into our conversation, because I really want to make sure that you fully understand the magnitude of the opportunity and really kind of reframe your mindset as to what opportunities your business can leverage. So whether you are in the Caribbean, Jamaica, Africa, South Africa, Ghana, I know you're on the line, or you're in the US, I want you to really grasp. My favorite author and mentor, John Maxwell, says, dream loud, dream big, and dream in color. I'm hoping that by now you will recognize that the dreams that we had of yesteryear, yesterdecade even, are too small. And if you want to level up, I know many of you, some of my mentees on the line, we talk about community and generational wealth. Community and generational wealth, if that's the pathway or if that's the trajectory that you are looking for, then what we really have to do and start thinking about is expansion. Expanding your thinking, elevating your thinking to new opportunities. So, Ricardo, my first question to you is, can you share a bit more about the vision for the Atlanta Black Chamber and the Global Opportunities Conference, or the Global Opportunities Committee, over the next, say, 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, no, thank you, Claudine. And many of you might have been recognizing my accent. I was born in Jamaica, so I manufactured in Jamaica. So a big shout out to my peeps from the island. Mom Jamaican, dad was Cuban, so I'm your boy right here. Just let you know that. So the Atlanta Black Chamber's goal is to advance Black businesses, period. And the beauty about the Atlanta Black Chamber is that you can be a part of the chamber from anywhere in the world. Like, you don't actually need to be in Atlanta. So that's the first thing. The second thing, in terms of the vision for the chamber and the way that the chamber is structured, the chamber really is touching on just various lives around governments, business, and community. And so in the business context, the chamber has several different committees that addresses needs and concerns to elevate business. As you heard the president, Melvin Coleman, says, how do you get to the next level, right? So a women's league, right? A young entrepreneurs group, a veterans committee, and of course, my committee, which is the Global Opportunities Committee. That's the committee where if you are outside of Atlanta, if you're outside of the US, I'm your boy. Like that's where we fall. And so we pretty much work with you in helping you to identify opportunities to do business with Atlanta, to do business with the US, but also to reciprocate that, how we've got entrepreneurs here that would like to also do business in the UK, on the continent, in the Caribbean, and so forth and so on. So that's a big part of our vision. How do we ensure that we're bringing folks together that is not necessarily here in Atlanta, from around the world? And we can do it now because of technologies like Zoom. Atlanta has the world's busiest airport, right? So every single place on the planet you can fly from Atlanta, right? And maybe your last flight was connecting in Atlanta as well. So that's the beauty. So the world has changed dynamically because of that, and it helps us to achieve the vision that we now have set in place. So the Global Opportunities Committee of the Atlanta Black Chamber, we have set a goal to generate 100 billion in global transaction over the next 10 years. I'm gonna let that settle for, as we always say, let it marinate for a second. 100 billion in global transaction over the next 10 years. Wow. And what part of your vision can get rolled up right into that? What part of your dreams can get rolled up right into that? If you're in business and you're looking to do more transaction, you're looking to connect with more people. I literally host a podcast anywhere there's podcasts, and please go listen to it. And it's called More, right? Literally get more, because that's what we all want. More equals growth. And you know, even our Father loves it when we have abundantly more, and he blesses us to have more. So there's nothing wrong with that. And so we are going after this goal to be able to unite the global Black business community so we can transact with each other. So that's a big vision, and it makes us kind of get the pimples, if you may. And as we ask ourselves, like, how do we get there? What the vehicle is going to be? What are the vehicles that we're going to use to actually get there? And we can talk through that, Claudine, but I just kind of wanted to spell it out. It's a massive vision, and it can't happen without you being involved. And I think every single person that's on this call can literally roll their vision up onto that one. And in 10 years time, when we do another call like this, it may be in another stratosphere or another technology. We are looking back and saying like, wow, we're setting another goal to do a 500 billion, and potentially we can get to 1 trillion because we've made it. And so that's the exciting piece that we're looking at, Claudine.
Awesome, thank you. I really love the fact that you said that, and I want everybody in the meeting to type the words 100 billion in the chat box. Just
type it out.
100
Call it by its
billion.
name.
I want you to understand it. I want you to get used to talking in billions. I want you to get used. Yes, Christine, first off the mark. Yes, Pauline, right. I want you to get used to this, because I think what I'm seeing here in the UK is that because we're not used to these big money talk conversations, we get happy when people are offering you like £5,000, happy when somebody's offering you 10. Now, don't get me wrong. Of course, £5,000, it can pay your bills. And if you don't have it, of course, you're going to need it. But let's go bigger. Let's go higher. Let's go more. I love what you said. More equals growth. 100 billion. I see you all in the chat box partnering with me, because we are en route to 100 billion. Thank you, Ricardo. All right, my next question. Can you give then a sense of an overview of the type of opportunities that are needed in the region? So what type of business opportunities are there? So we've got people on the line thinking, okay, we want to leverage some of this 100 billion. What are you looking for? How can my business plug in?
Yeah, no, great question. And if I may ask, if you want to put just a one word or phrase, or what is that you do, like what's your business today? That would be really helpful, because it's important to not only as you talk 100 billion out loud and you write it out loud, it's also important to write what you do out loud as well, so that you can associate that to the 100 billion. Whatever you do needs to be able to download a part of that 100 billion over the next 10 years. And so the big question is, whatever it is that you do, is there a need for that, right? Because I'm always a big advocate of selling what people want to buy until they're ready to buy what you have to sell. So instead of coming up with a solution and then go look for a problem to solve, it's always kind of like the other way around. Figure out what the problem is and build a solution around it, and you'd be amazed. And congratulations, Claudine, to the gentleman in UK who did all these patties in such a short window. I can't remember his name now, but what an awesome story. I mean, who doesn't want a patty right now? Like, I would love to have a patty right now. Like, I'm literally an hour away from a patty store. I can really get some Jamaican patty. But that's an amazing story, and it's an example of what is it that what is the value that you're actually adding, right? So I think to your question on what exactly that we need, when we look at the statistics and the data here in Atlanta, we realize, and I think it's a testament to what you're putting in the chat, we realize that a large percentage of the membership that we have, the community, are professional service providers. We don't produce any tangible products. And as you scroll through in the chat and you look, you see a lot of service providers that are in here. And so this is and it makes sense, right? Because we don't typically have a lot of money and that's gonna change, because every time you see the 100 billion, you're gonna feel it, right? But a big part of that is just because of how easy it is to get into a service business, right? And so most of us offer those things. So what is it that we actually need? Here in Atlanta is the same thing. And I think on a large scale, you have a lot of service provider, but you also have those who are producing tangible goods. And the question is, how can we actually match some of those needs? So I'm just going to grab, for example, just one or two of the things that I see people posting in here, and just kind of relate that to the Atlanta market. So if you understand the Atlanta market, it is dubbed as the city that has the Black Mecca for Black excellence. It's a Mecca for Black excellence. So anything that you're actually doing, if you can notch it up and take it up to a next level, it could actually work here in Atlanta. So even if you start with that ESG consulting, right? If you start with that, I see someone says disease reversal for menopausal women, coaching and therapy services. Those things are all needed here in Atlanta. And the beauty about it is that you have people here in Atlanta that are looking for those kinds of services, but they're also looking to see how they can create partnerships between the services that you offer and the services that they offer, to then really create what we call packages and offerings to solve some of the challenges that exist, right? Premium luxury Caribbean food. I just told you that like the closest Caribbean place to me is like an hour away. And Atlanta, the beauty about Atlanta is got a lot of space. Atlanta is very spacious, and so we call everything here Atlanta. But you may see some folks says I'm from Stone Mountain or from Woodstock, or I'm from from these other spaces, right? But they're all kind of like considered Atlanta, simple like an hour away from like the main core of the Atlanta city. So when we think about Georgia, and we think about Georgia being the 11th in terms of performing economy here, and you think about what Georgia actually imports, UK is a top export partner for Georgia. So you are already a game changer. You already have relationships. You already are recognized as an important trade partner. And as you think through what are these kinds of services, and what we see coming in from UK, or any number of professional services that are coming into Georgia, and people are actually using that, we see Georgians or Atlanteans going into UK and offering those professional services as well. I think the beauty about us as a global Black business community is that it becomes so much easier for us to get that sort of support that exists here in Atlanta, being the success Mecca for Black excellence, right? There is such an amazing level of support here for Black businesses that we've never seen in any other city, and in any other state. So when you land here and you're looking at these different opportunities, there's so many businesses that are getting started up. they need help, they need coaching, they need strategists, they need a lot of those kinds of business ecosystem services that you can provide for them. There are businesses that are interested in exporting. One of the things that we are on a mission to do, Claudine, is how do we map, if you may, in the best way possibly, with businesses that are here in Atlanta, with businesses in the UK, for example? How do we take the things that you're actually doing, find you a match, find you a complement, so that you'll be able to actually work together? Because make no mistake, for us, it's about trade. It's about the reciprocation of the values between Atlanta and between the UK, or between Atlanta and the Caribbean and the continent. So if you have something that's valuable that you can offer, you will essentially be literally skyrocketing to the 100 billion mark if you can reciprocate. Okay, if you can reciprocate what it is that you're actually trying to achieve. So you're trying to get to Atlanta, open the doors to get someone from Atlanta to the UK. Open the doors to get someone from the UK, from the Atlanta to the Caribbean, wherever you're from. See how best you can actually add those value and open it. We just had a company from Kenya called Sandbox just launched in Atlanta, and literally from Kenya launching an office here in Atlanta. So as you think about transportation and logistics, as you think about the entrepreneurial ecosystem, you've seen how many literally over the next 10 years, the entire Atlanta community is going to be dominated by women entrepreneurs. And you're probably already seeing that in the UK as well, right? Where the movement for supporting women entrepreneurs, for financing and funding women entrepreneurs, if you can finance and fund some of these entrepreneurs, Atlanta would be a perfect city for you to do business, right? So finance, investment financing, real estate. Atlanta is a great city for transplant. If you talk to anyone when you come to Atlanta, they'll tell you they were living in New York. They're born in New York. They moved to Atlanta. They're born in Jamaica. They moved to Atlanta. They moved to Atlanta. Everybody's moving to Atlanta, and the housing challenge is a thing, right? Affordable housing, being able to allow folks to have affordable housing. But you also have to remember, I don't know if you know this, but 10,000 people, I think it's 11,000 as of this year, turn 65 in the United States every day. 10,000, 11,000 people turn 65 years old every day. So there's a huge opportunity for elder care. There's a huge opportunity for providing solutions for the elderly, right? And it's the same is true here in Atlanta as well, right? Being able to provide affordable housing, the rental market here is huge, because everybody who transplants here want to rent for a little bit before they go and they purchase a home. So there's so many different opportunities that we look at. Sports and entertainment is massive here. When the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, when you come to Atlanta and you get to see that space, and you understand when Katy Perry or when Dua Lipa is in town, the entire city gets locked down, because we love our music. Atlanta is also like a home for hip hop. And so if you can support those kinds of ecosystem, you have an opportunity to be able to grow and build your business. So I hope that was giving you, I hope that gave you some context. And everything that I said, it's dominated by Black African-American, Black-owned businesses. It's dominated by our people right here in Atlanta. So you can really get plugged in and start connecting and building those relationships. I see a couple of our people here, like, Lamar is from Atlanta, and I see Tina is on the call from Atlanta, and these folks provide services that you can literally plug in and partner with to be able to take advantage of what's happening in the Atlanta market.
Awesome. Ricardo, thank you very much. I really hope that the people on the line are getting a sense of the types of opportunity, and I hope that it's kind of provoking some people in terms of their own thinking and their own personal strategy. You said something that's really important about partnerships. For those of you who are my mentees on the line, you will know partnerships are key to progress. There are opportunities that you might not be able to leverage on your own. But imagine if you partner with somebody in a different country, in a different territory, in a different region, and you collaborate. Now, of course, you're going to do your due diligence. You're going to make sure everyone's got their compliance checks and insurances and everything in order. But we've got to move out from believing that we can do this all by ourselves. If you don't have a system, a structure, and a strategy, then what you do have is a job, a job. And if that's the process that you want, then that's absolutely great. But if you're talking generational wealth, if you're talking community wealth, you need a structure, strategy, and a system for that. All right, Ricardo, my next question, and I have one request. I'm going to ask you to keep your responses slightly more succinct for me, please.
Roger.
All right. So my next question, I would love for you to kind of give a sense or an understanding about your own personal business and how you've been able to leverage international opportunities.
Yeah, no, thank you. And I don't know if your audience knows, Calendly is also headquartered here, and I'm not sure if you know Calendly, but its founder is from Africa. I think he's Nigerian or Ghanaian. But big shout out to the Calendly people out here. So my company, MI Group, we started our business 15 years ago. Like I said earlier, we're in software development, and one of the things when you think about building software or running a digital marketing company, so we have a digital marketing company. We also have a digital infrastructure company, so we work on servers and manage hosting and AWS and all that whatnot. And then we also have a software as a service business. So I saw someone had a property management platform. Nice to know you and partner with you on being able to kind of help you to roll out some of those SaaS products. If you have a SaaS product that can be scaled, which is very, very important in the next things that I'm going to say, scaling your business is important for you to achieve these growth and for you to grow. If you're in certain kind of business that's not scalable, it's going to be tough for you. So you really need to figure out how do you productize that business and how do you digitize it for you to be able to kind of achieve those scales, those unit of economic scales that we talk about. So I love that someone already had a platform that they can then easily just sort of duplicate that into Atlanta market. So we're looking for that. So we have these different companies, Claudine, that we run, and we also run an e-commerce infrastructure. And essentially for us, when we got started 15 years ago, we knew that talent was going to be the core component for the business that we're building. And when we looked around us at the low-hanging fruit, we couldn't find the talent that we needed. So we had to go and expand our reach and broadening our net. And that's how we started going abroad and started connecting with talent that we've found in South America, on the continent of Africa. We have folks who work for us in Europe as well, and in India, etc. So that was really how it got started, where the search for a wider net of talented folks that gave us that push start into going into these different events. I started my expansion. I used to live in Colombia, so that was sort of a low-hanging fruit opportunity to build out a business out there in South America. But that actually started with me literally going on a search in the region to find talent. To literally scout for talent. So we started attending these events and we started meeting these people, again, going back to the relationship, right? And the relationships are what then sort of blossom into, hey, let's actually help you to set up a company here. Let's actually help you to do business here. So now we do business in the Bahamas, we do business in Jamaica, we do business in other parts of the Caribbean, we do business in South America, in Panama, in Colombia, all attributes to relationship. And we're expanding now to South Africa because of the very same thing. We just got back from South Africa, been there several times. But as we are connecting and building these relationships, we now realize that people are interested in ensuring that you get what it is that you want out of the relationship while you reciprocate the same thing. Big shout out to Johnny, who is literally in Johannesburg right now in South Africa. These are the kinds of people that we are in communication with on a regular basis, who are looking out for us, but we're also looking out for them. And that partnership really thrives on creating that expansion that we need.
I really love this. I really love the way how you're kind of demonstrating how geography or business rather is geography agnostic, right? You can do business across territories, but the currency that we're looking for is about relationships. It's about partnership. And that's why coming here on platforms like this, connecting up with each other. I hope that whilst for those of you with your camera screens off, you've gone onto LinkedIn, you've connected with Ricardo on LinkedIn. If you haven't already connected with me, you've connected with me on LinkedIn. If you haven't already done so, you're scrolling through and looking at some of the names and some of the people in terms of what they've put in the chat box, what their business is. How are you going to practically follow through? How are you going to really turn this power hour into power? It turns into power when you've left and you've carried on the relationship building. All right, Ricardo, I've got 2 more questions for you. And I really love the fact that we're talking international. One of my colleagues here are on the line from Jamaica, Onika Barrett, and we've been talking about ESG and how we can build out frameworks of success. And it's really great to hear some of the opportunities that you're speaking about, how we're able to leverage them on a wider base. So can you then share, you've already given a sense of the scope and the sense of the scale of the opportunities in particular that you personally have been able to leverage. Can you tell us a bit more about what the Global Opportunities Conference is aiming to achieve in October, and why should people make this a date in their diary?
Yeah, sure. So touching back on some of the keywords that you've heard us talking about during this conversation: connection, right? Relationship, opportunities, and transaction. Those are the 4 things that I want you to leave with when you think about the Go Global Conference. It's an international trade and investment expo. And what we're doing there is to build an environment for the global Black business community to come and do business with each other. You see here in the United States, only 0.8% of the US Black business actually export. This is an alarming number, right? I don't know what the number is for UK, but to change that, the global Black business community is not integrated enough. It's not included enough, and our capabilities are not demonstrated and promoted enough in the larger global economy. So because there's a global economy, there's got to be a Black global economy. And we really want to begin to portray and promote the abilities that we have. This is not 400 years ago. This is not 50 years ago. We are far more capable today than we have ever been. I mean, think about how many of us are educated all the way to the PhD level. Think about the experiences that we've had, the businesses that we've created. I mean, we are probably one of the most creative group on the planet. And we are also one of the most resilient groups on the planet, right? And I always say, you know, I was born on an island. God just gave us this little island, but we went and then created this whole world change thing, right? Look at the folks who are from the islands here. They'll be able to tell you that. But this is why we created the Go Global Conference. And this is why we think you can extract from this meaningful connection to build meaningful relationships, to extract meaningful opportunities that you can then transact to grow your business coming up in 2025 and beyond. We have several different features and parts of the event that's really going to allow you to own in B2B matchmaking. We don't do B2B matchmaking as often as we date and as we go to the clubs. And we want to be able to change that in the professional scheme of things. Imagine if we own in on the Black business culture to match with each other very often and more often, we could be doing so much more business. So to get to that 100 billion, we needed to create an environment to allow our people face to face, press the flesh, and talk about what is it that you're doing, what is it that I'm doing, and how can we do business with each other. So we want to leave that room with a transaction. We want to leave that room with an opportunity to then continue to build on and grow. And like you said, Claudine, the power hour is nothing if you don't continue the power. Like the hour is going to be done, like in shortly, but the power remains, and that's what we're also transcending into the conference. So you're invited, like you're absolutely invited to come to the Go Global Conference. This is in October, but we really want you to be intentional. We really want you to be intentional when you come here to be able to extract the beauty about this, Claudine, that I love is that this is our own people. Like, you don't have an excuse anymore. Like, it's your brother, it's your sister, it's your aunt, it's your nephew. These are lookalikes. We all are like Black business owners in the same building, in the same room. So we literally, like you said, location agnostic, industry agnostic. It doesn't matter what it is that you do. You need to be in this room, and you need to be able to showcase the products and services that you have. Let the world know how creative you are. Let our people know how creative you are. Be in position to get matched and connect with real other businesses who are looking for you, looking for what it is that you do. So I hope that helps, because I'm super pumped about what October is going to become as a transcendent, as a historic sort of opportunity for the global Black business community to connect. This is not another conference, y'all. This is not another summit. I mean, there's so many of them in Atlanta. Like, one is literally going on right now that I missed because I said I've got to be here. I can't be there. But what this is in October is the convergence of the global Black business community that is never seen before, coming together from all walks of life, all over the world, to be able to ensure that we speak for ourselves and nobody speaks for us.
Wow. This is really good. I really appreciate you sharing this. And I mean, I have firsthand experience of this. So I was in Jamaica earlier on this year, developing business opportunities there, speaking to respective government officials. Some of my colleagues are on the line. I'm in now branching out into Atlanta. And I said this to some of my mentees earlier on. The reason why I'm sharing this platform, the reason why we are having these conversations is because we have to build an ecosystem. Your family, your generational and community wealth depends on your ability to see further than where you are. Your ability to increase your capacity for more depends on your ability and your capacity to see further than where you are. You know the famous saying that says, feel the fear and do it anyway. I know for some you might be thinking, oh my gosh, 1 billion. Let me just even get to 1,000 first. No, think a billion. If you think a billion, then you'll far supersede 1,000, right? That's the type of connectivity. Those are the types of conversations that we want to be able to have. All right, we've got 10 minutes. Well, not really 10, probably about 7. I'm going to see if I can open up for some conversation, for some questions. If anyone has a question for Ricardo or for myself, please use the reaction buttons. I'm going to be really strict on time because this is a power hour. And Ricardo reiterated the work doesn't start here. I can see lots of conversations in the chat. I can see people putting their LinkedIn handles and all sorts, contact details in the chat. The power actually starts at 1 minute past 7 when you do the follow-up, or 1 minute past 2 in Atlanta when you do the follow-up. The power isn't in just posting your contact details. The power is in you making sure that you follow Ricardo on LinkedIn. It's making sure that you connect up with me on LinkedIn. So I'm looking across my screens. If you have any questions, please do use the reaction button to raise your hand. And in the meantime, if you haven't done so already, I want you to use your phones to scan the QR code so that you can get some more information about the global opportunities, about the Go Global conference. The website is also there, www.goglobalconference.com. Let me just remind you, WWW stands for World Wide Web. Do you understand the magnitude of what that means? Right in your kitchen, for those of you who are in London, if you are in Kingston, Jamaica, if you are in Accra in Ghana, if you are in Johannesburg, wherever you are, www.worldwideweb gives you access from your bedroom, from your bathroom, wherever you are seated, to the other side of the world. Now is the call for action. The time is now to start to level up on your business. Level up. Lots of you say to Claudine, I want to be a millionaire. Claudine, I want more money. In order for you to get more, you have to do more. You got to step out of your comfort zone. You've got to do something different. You've got to do something that you've not done before. And perhaps that thing that you've not done before could be just logging onto the website, just finding out a little bit more. Just go and check the flight details. Go and check, how much would it really cost me to go to Atlanta? How much would it really cost me to book in for a hotel? If I'm really serious about my business, before I tell myself no, let me go and do a cost analysis and let me see if I'm saying no because I don't like the sound of the money or I don't really want to spend my money, or am I just saying yes to go with the flow, or am I really serious about community and generational wealth? Am I really serious about job creation? Am I really serious? For those of you who are based in the UK, we have a campaign. I was sharing this with Lamar earlier on, called Race to 1 Trillion. Race to 1 Trillion is the UK goal, or the UK target, to increase exports. So that's goods and services from the country to another country, to £1 trillion by 2030. I had a meeting with the Director General, Andrew Mitchell from DBT, that's the Department of Business and Trade. I also met with another member of his team earlier on this week, and I said to them, look, the Black community want to be able to contribute to this. Now, if we're bringing trade to the UK, before we get to the UK, we're getting to your own house and your own office, right? So you will be beneficiaries of all of those good things. So I really want you to be a part of this. I want you to level up on your thinking. I want you to level up on the way how you view opportunities, the way how you grab hold of opportunities. Please do scan the QR code or visit the website, goglobalconference.com. I'm checking my screen. I see that nobody has their hand raised. That means nobody has any questions for Ricardo or for myself. If you haven't, that's okay. We can leave early. Joanna Anderson, your hand is raised. Go ahead, Joanna, please do unmute your microphone.
Hi everyone. Great to be on the call. Thank you. I just wanted to know, trying to join the chamber, there's an international membership. What would that involve? You know, is the weekly meetings that are online? What would I get for the joining as an international member?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Great question. So atlantablackchambers.org, if you go to the website, it will sort of give you the breakdown of what's included there. But a lot of what we do is actually virtual. So you will be able to participate in our virtual activities or virtual events. We do a lot of virtual events. And particularly for my committee, you'll be able to get enrolled and enlist in my committee. And maybe Claudine, I should also say that we're coming to Europe in our economic mission in next year, right? I think we're thinking around March. So as a member, as an international member, if you're in the UK, you get to also help us to sort of, again, connect with the opportunities that we have out there and connect with you as well. So there are several ways that you could participate, but virtually for sure is the main way.
Okay, thank you.
And if I could just add to that, Joanna, I was on one of the calls that they had, I think either yesterday or the day before. Now, for us, Ricardo, this is a big attendance, like 60 people at this time of the day. Everyone's just coming home from work. But I was on the Atlanta call at 8:30 a.m. There's like 300 people on there. So if you're talking about networking and plugging into different ecosystems, and that actually is how I met with Lamar. So I was on the call, met with Lamar, and you know, we're having conversations, but you can't just arrive at a Zoom meeting and think that you're going to get £100 million contract because you posted your LinkedIn details in the chat. We need to talk. We need to understand. We need to know, like, and trust you. We got to do due diligence. So it's a really great question, Joanne. We've probably got time for one more. If I see a hand, if I don't see it. Oh, yes. Althea, go ahead. Unmute your microphone. Last question.
Hello, good evening. Thank you so much, Claudine, for opening up your platform for this opportunity. And thank you, Ricardo, just for all the information shared as well. So I wanted to just really ask a question regarding youth entrepreneurship, which is something that I specialize in. And I know you mentioned about the over 65 market. I was just wondering how the under 30 market is in Atlanta and what that would look like for my service business. the support?
Oh, that's a
there?
great question. I think the first thing that I would do is to plug you in with our youth outreach leader, who is Jennifer Barbosa. She's also the co-chair for our committee. She's focused on the young people who are interested in entrepreneurship, interested in international business, which I think would be a great place to start building that relationship. Because even as we think about traveling, this is one of the programs we do in our committee. We travel to other destinations where we have large concentrations of Black-owned businesses. We want to bring young people along with us. So this sort of youth exchange program are things that you could do. But this is huge. It's a huge market here. You may not know this, but Atlanta has probably the most what they call them USBC, which is which is historically Black universities and colleges. Atlanta is populated with perhaps the most of them. Atlanta HBCUs, they call it. So that's a huge network of young entrepreneurs, of people looking to actually get into business that are under 20, under 30. So you have a huge opportunity here to be able to lean into that. But we'll certainly connect you. We can connect you with Jennifer Barbosa.
Wow, that would be amazing. Thank you. I'm connected with you on LinkedIn, so I shall definitely be following up.
Following up. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Fortune is in the follow-up. The fortune is in the follow-up. All right, ladies and gents, we are at the top of the hour. I did say power hour, and I'm going to be really strict on the time. So we're going to wrap up. This is your call to action. In the emails that I've been sending out to you, you would have received Ricardo's LinkedIn. You would have received my LinkedIn. I have one more favor to ask. I want you to go to LinkedIn right now. I want you to share one key takeaway from today's conversation. I want you to tag Ricardo, tag me, and then we can carry on the conversation. This is your call to action. It's easy. It's something to do. I'm not even asking you to write a check or do a bank transfer. Something as easy as building out your network starts with building relationships. If you've connected with anyone on the platform, tag them in too. Let them know how great it was. And for those people who missed it, let them know what they missed, right? This is a massive opportunity. I shared with you on one of my LinkedIn posts earlier on this week, that for me, August is called Audacious August. It's called Audacious August because some big things are about to happen in a couple of my businesses, and I want you to experience big things too. So thank you so much, Ricardo. Please do give him a round of applause.
Thank you,
Really
Claudine.
appreciate you
Thank you for
spending
the
some time with
invite.
us.
We'll do this again. It's Black Business Month here in the US. So big shout out to the Black Business Month. August is Black Business Month. Do your thing. Thank you, Claudine. We appreciate you.
Awesome, no problem. And to everybody else, have a wonderful evening. And I look forward to seeing my mentees Saturday morning, 10 a.m. And look out for your email that comes to you. It'll come to you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Just as a reminder of some of the stuff that we've discussed today. Look out for that email. Have a great evening. Good night and God bless.
Good night.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.